What's good? I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to be filming a life update. Get ready with me because a lot of things have happened in the past couple of weeks and honestly the past couple of months, so the audience needs to be updated. If you hear lots of noises outside, that is because they're doing maintenance outside and there's nothing I can do about it, so this video is sponsored by Clinique, and let's get started. So before I get into the details of my life, I'm gonna start with a foundation. This is the Clinique Even Better Makeup. It has SPF 15. It's meant to even and correct your skin tone. So this product contains vitamin C as well as antioxidants, and the idea is that the vitamin C and the antioxidants are meant to brighten hyperpigmentation and dark spots and even out your skin tone over time with continued use. So like every time you use this foundation, the idea is that the vitamin C and the antioxidants work to even out your complexion. The shade range for this is ridiculous. I thought 40 shades of foundation was a lot, but the Clinique Even Better Makeup comes in 56 shades. So you'll probably find a shade, and if you don't find a shade, you'll find one pretty close. Now, for all of my oily skin folks out there, this foundation does not have a matte finish, but it also does not have a dewy finish. It has like more of a natural finish, so I think that makes it great for all skin types. And if you visit any Clinique counter, they will give you a free 10-day sample of your perfect shade of this foundation, so consider that. But I really like the consistency of this foundation. It's not too watery, but it also has buildable coverage. I wouldn't say that it's like a full coverage foundation because it definitely is not, but I prefer light or medium coverage foundations just because I think it looks more natural that way. And this foundation is buildable, so even if you do need to cover a little bit more, you can always just layer it on. Boom, natural. All right, now I'm going to go in with a powder. I just came back from the Philippines, so all of my like translucent powders are acting crazy because, you know, it's like shifting in the luggage and whatnot. So, ooh, girl, this is a lot. But anyway, so I just came back from the Philippines, and honestly, this was a life-changing trip. I have learned so much about myself during this trip, like not to sound all like existential or like I had a quarter-life crisis or anything, but I came back from that trip a new person. Well, I wouldn't say a new person, but like I have a totally new and fresher perspective about everything, which is a good thing because that is what I needed. That's what I really needed. So here is what this Philippines trip taught me. Number one, it reaffirmed my purpose. I have a video on why I was in the Philippines. If you want to watch it, I'll link it down below. But basically I had my first meet and greet there in the Philippines, and it was so great to meet my audience face to face. And it happens sometimes, like I'll go to like the grocery store and someone will recognize me and I'll like meet them or whatever, and those are my favorite types of experiences. Like getting comments is nice and all, but they're just like text on a screen. It's just like pixels on a monitor, you know what I mean? And to actually meet you guys in person is like my favorite thing ever because I feel like I make a real human connection. Like I used to be one of those people that were like, what do you mean technology is ruining human interaction, blah, blah, blah. Like we can text people, we can Skype people, we can blah, 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 and it's still communication. I used to think like that. And what I've realized is that there is nothing that compares to face-to-face interaction. There is just nothing that compares to it. And so meeting you guys was having my first meet and greet in the Philippines, and meeting you guys and like you guys telling me how much I inspired you, or that I inspired you to love yourself and love your skin color and love your hair texture. Like there's nothing better than that in the world to me. And so it just reaffirmed my purpose. It made me realize why I started doing any of this in the first place, why I started acting, why I started creating YouTube videos. I started all of this with an intention to be the girl that my younger self never had. To see that be fully realized and for you guys to reaffirm that, I just, like, I don't even have any words. Like, I still think about it. I got back last week and I'm still a little jet lagged, but ever since I had my meet and greet, I've been thinking about it every single day. Like, that's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Like, not to sound corny. But yeah, I'm sure you've like noticed it lately. Like, I haven't really been, I haven't been uploading or creating videos with purpose, and I'm sure it is noticeable for some videos that I've created, because for a lot of this year, I was creating and uploading just to satisfy an algorithm. And I feel like as a creative, that is the worst thing that you could do. And unfortunately, I fell for the trap and I lost my purpose and I lost my reason for creating content. And I'm sure it was noticeable. And so this trip in meeting you guys just reminded me of my purpose. And so moving forward, I'm not going to upload to satisfy an algorithm. I'm going to upload to satisfy my purpose. And so if I don't have a purpose to upload something or to create something, then I'm just not gonna do it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure most of you will appreciate that. There's no point in watching content with no purpose. So that's where I'm at with that. So that's the first thing that this trip has taught me. The second thing that this trip has taught me is the importance of rest, the importance of taking a break. You know, we live in a world of that like rise and grind mentality, you know, good morning, let's get this bread, which is great. Like, you should strive to be productive and make advancements in your career and in your life. However, we don't value so much the importance of taking a break, which is so necessary, especially if you're a creative. And I've been like super hard on myself for a majority of this year, like hard on myself for my work ethic. Like, I truly believed that I was being lazy if I missed an upload day, but this trip made me realize that I actually have a great work ethic. I just needed a break. I uploaded 2 videos every single week for 2 years. There's 52 weeks in a year, so I uploaded like 104 videos for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And your favorite TV shows don't even do that. You know, TV shows go on like a 2 to 4 month hiatus twice a year. And I worked myself into the ground for 2 years straight, and then I had the audacity to make myself feel bad for wanting to skip an upload day or to take a break, like take a week or 2 off. And I was so hard on myself. I was not kind to myself. Like, I told myself that I was lazy and undeserving because I wanted to take a break. That mentality is whack, ladies. I was not kind to myself, and this trip made me realize that I really needed to start prioritizing myself and prioritize loving myself. So what I've been doing every single day since I got back from the Philippines is I started loving myself. I started prioritizing loving myself and prioritizing myself. Because for so long I was prioritizing videos and I was forgetting about taking care of myself, and didn't end up too well. And I've always known that I needed to love myself. Like, you know, when you watch an interview of a celebrity or something and they're like, yeah, self-love is important, you gotta love yourself, and you as the audience is like, yeah, self-love is important, I do need to love myself. And then right after that happens, you forget about anything that just happened. And it wasn't until I hit rock bottom that I realized, oh, this requires active participation. I needed to actively participate in loving myself because it wasn't just gonna happen because someone told me to. So this trip really taught me that self-love is a journey and that you have to be an active participant in it. You have to actively do things to love yourself. It's not just a matter of like I love myself and then forgetting about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to actively participate in self-love activities. So since I got back, I've been exercising, I've been meditating every single day. And by exercising, like, I've been doing yoga. I love yoga. I hiked today, so that was really cool. I went on a hike today in Runyon Canyon, and I love hiking. So I'm just trying to do more things that I love and enjoy doing, and I don't make myself feel bad for doing things that I enjoy. So I've been exercising, I've been meditating, I have been filling my body with good food, girl. I have been reading more. I've been reading like a chapter of a book every single morning and every single night. I've been spending less time on social media, which is something that I've always wanted to do, but I finally decided to do it, which was great. I'm taking multivitamins, I'm taking my probiotics, girl. I am loving myself. I don't want to self-diagnose or anything, but I was not in a good mental space for a majority of this year. I struggled with very bad thoughts, and I had a lot of panic attacks this year, like the most I've ever had in my entire life. My anxiety was just taking over my life, and in an effort to love myself and to treat myself better and to care for myself, I just scheduled my first session with a therapist. So I'm going to start going to therapy, so that's really exciting. It sucks that it took me hitting rock bottom to make an appointment, but you know, you gotta start somewhere, and if you're watching this, like, you gotta take care of yourself. Don't wait until you hit rock bottom to make that therapist session or to go see your doctor about medications. I recently watched an interview with Chris Evans, and he opened up about his anxiety and going to therapy, and he actually said he almost turned down Captain America because of his anxiety. And he said that he went and talked to his therapist about it, and you know, they helped him figure everything out. But it was so great to hear such a big star talk so openly about anxiety and mental health and therapy. And if I'm being honest, it inspired me to make my first therapy appointment. So we gotta take care of ourselves, y'all. Just like the legend Ariana Grande said herself in Get Well Soon, stream Sweetener on Spotify, this is for everybody. Girl, you gotta take care of your body. Ain't no time to deny it. That is why we talking about it. There is no shame in mental illness. There is no shame in seeking therapy. There is no shame in taking medications. Do what you need to do to be yourself, to be the best version of yourself. Take care of your body. I'm gonna do my eyeliner without talking because this is something that needs to be done without talking. Another thing that this trip made me realize is the extent of my success. I feel like I've been beating myself up, comparing myself to others, which is the worst thing that you can do to yourself, by the way. I've been comparing myself to others, and I forgot how far I've come. I've come so far from when I first dropped out of college. Yesterday, when I was writing in my journal, I like looked around my apartment and like took an introspective look into my life, and I realized, like, damn, I created all of this shit. I did all of this myself. That's crazy. And like, to be on stage in front of 3,000 girls, I'm told that's how many tickets were distributed or whatever, and be given a platform to inspire, like, you gotta be successful to do that, you know? They don't just invite anyone on a stage to talk to young girls and to inspire them. And so this trip really made me realize that I needed to be more grateful, to express gratitude more often, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Because it really made me realize how far I've come. Another thing that I've learned recently, this wasn't directly connected to the Philippines trip, but I recently filmed a how I started acting video because a lot of people asked for it. And what I realized through that video is how, first of all, the law of attraction is real. Second of all, I realized how fearless I was when I first started acting and how that changed my success. Like how being fearless and jumping headfirst into something that I was so unfamiliar with, how doing that affected my success. I filmed this video, so I'll go more in depth about it in that video, but basically I was signed commercially with a boutique agency, meaning that this agency represented actors for commercials as well as TV and film, but I was only signed with them for commercial. And I was with them for an entire year, and I did not book a single job. I didn't book a single commercial, but I really wanted to start acting on TV and film. And so I walked into my agency's office and I told them that I wanted to start acting in TV and film. I wanted to start auditioning for TV and film. Keep in mind that I had no acting experience. I didn't even do theater in high school. I wasn't enrolled in any acting class. I've never taken an acting class before. The only on-camera experience I had was with modeling. I didn't have any acting experience, and I also didn't book a job with this agency for an entire year. But for some reason, I had the audacity to walk into my agency's office and tell them, hey, with no acting experience, I want to start auditioning for TV and film. And I'm sure my agency considered all of these things, that I, didn't have any acting experience and all of that didn't make them any money for an entire year. You know what my agency told me? They said, okay. So they signed me theatrically and I started auditioning for TV and film, and within 4 months of signing with them theatrically, I booked Modern Family. And so my fearlessness as an actor, as a young, early green actor, actually worked to my advantage because I had the drive. I wanted it so bad. And that brings me back to the talk about law of attraction. When you decide, when you make the conscious decision to do something, you just gotta do it. You have to be so excited about it. You have to be super passionate about it. If you make this conscious decision, everything will happen. One of my acting coaches that I've had, who is actually like a commercial coach, he has this catchphrase where it's called, leap and the net will appear. And back then it didn't really mean anything to me, but like in retrospect, it's so true. Like if you take the chance and you commit yourself and you make the decision to do something, everything else will work out. You just really have to believe in yourself and believe that you can achieve it. Mindset is so important in reaching success, because if you have a negative mindset, then you're not really believing in yourself. When I first started acting, I really believed that I could be an actor, and then guess what happened? I became a professional actor. I've been on TV multiple times. I just did my first movie, you know what I'm saying? My first movie just premiered. So the law of attraction is real, folks. You really just have to believe in yourself, and you have to make sure you want it, because there's a lot of people that come to Hollywood and they half-ass it. They're like, well, I think I want to be an actor. Maybe I will audit this acting class, but I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll send my materials to an agent, but I don't know yet. You can't be that type of person if you really want to get what you want. You can't half-ass anything. You have to make the conscious decision and commit to it. And once you do that and you believe in yourself, everything will fall into place. But you can't half-ass anything. That's why so many actors go back home to the Midwest or go back to wherever they came from, because they weren't sure of themselves. They didn't believe in themselves and they didn't commit to anything. So being clear and focused with what you want is going to be the key to success. I'm taking over DJ Khaled's career. All I'm doing is talking. I'm not even doing my makeup. Ooh, blush. And I guess the last thing that this trip taught me, I spent a lot of time in the Philippines with Megan Batoon and Leanne V, because we all have the same manager. I know, 3 Filipinos repped by the same manager. We have this like inside joke that like our manager represents all of the Filipinos in Hollywood. I mean, obviously that's not the truth, but we just joke about it because he represents like 4 Filipinos. But anyway, I spent a lot of time with them in the Philippines, and I remember during the show we were all hanging out in Megan's dressing room, and Leanne and Megan were talking about like hiring assistants, and Megan just got her own office space, and it was so inspiring to hear these two women take their businesses to the next level, because that's something that I've always wanted to do. And you know, Leanne was talking about like hiring assistants or whatever, and in my mind, like I was just observing and I was like, yeah, like just listening to them talk, but in my mind I was like, oh, I can't wait until I can afford an assistant. But then when I came back, I realized I can afford an assistant. Like, this isn't child's play anymore, you know? I have a business too, and I just forgot how capable I was, and being at this event and being surrounded by so many other successful women just made me realize, like, whoa, I'm so much more capable than what I originally imagined. There's a lot of things that an assistant could help me with. Remember when I tried to do a giveaway every month in a favorites video? Well, I had to stop doing that because giveaways are so time consuming. You have to put the giveaway together, you have to take the photo for the giveaway, put it on different social platforms, you have to post it on different social platforms, and then you have to wait 24 hours to a week depending on what you decided for that giveaway. And then you have to scroll through comments, randomly pick a winner, you have to ask them for their contact info, you have to contact them. If they don't respond, you have to pick another winner. And then finally, when they do respond, you have to gather up the giveaway items, you have to make a trip to the post office, you have to package it up, and then you have to pay for it, and then it gets shipped. And it is, I mean, to the average like viewer, giveaways don't seem like that much work. Like, you just pick a winner and then you just ship it. But I wanted to do one every month because I feel like my viewers deserve that much. But also, I get sent so much product every week that it feels better if I give back to my audience, because they're the reason why I'm being gifted all of this stuff anyway. So I really wanted to do a giveaway every week, and I just wasn't able to do that anymore because I just didn't have time. And there are so many projects that I wanted to. I wanted to do a project for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. I wanted to do like a digital magazine where I featured different Asian and Pacifica, like Samoan, Tongan, you know, Pacific Islanders, different creatives in different spaces. So I wanted to feature like a Chamorro actor, you know, that may not be getting the spotlight they need because they're so underrepresented, you know what I mean? I wanted to do this and I reached out to so many people, but the truth is I was so overwhelmed. It was completely impossible to do it by myself, and I really believe that I could have done it if I had an assistant helping me with this type of stuff. I really do think that I'm going to look into hiring a personal assistant because this trip made me realize that, hey, I can actually do this type of stuff. I've been limiting myself in what I can do, and I feel like this really goes for everyone. You have way more power than you realize you do. You know, why limit yourself to what you think you can afford, or what you think you can achieve, or what you think you can do, or what you think you're capable of, when you can be like the most badass version of yourself and do everything that you've ever wanted to do. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself that I can be. This is the overarching theme of what I've learned from this trip. And I feel like super re-motivated, and my perspective is different for everything. That's really what this trip taught me. And I hope that me sharing my experience or sharing my story can also inspire you guys to take control of your life and make any changes that you need to, because I've come so far from dropping out of college. It was the scariest thing that I've ever done, and you know, because I was so committed to it and because I really believed in myself, I created this life for myself. And I'm actually so proud of myself. I've been feeling really hard on myself, and I'm like, I should have been in 5 studio films by now. But you know what? I've come so far from being a college dropout that I'm so proud of myself, and I forget to tell myself that, you know? Today, after watching this video, write in your journal and write down all the things that you're proud of. Even if they're like little things like getting out of bed this morning. If you're proud of getting out of bed this morning, I think that's worth noting. I haven't been doing my makeup, I've just been talking. Is this really a get ready with me? But anyway, I got these new lipsticks from a brand called Sunny's Face. They gifted this to me while I was in the Philippines, and this is a Filipino brand, so I don't believe they're available internationally. But if you're watching this from the Philippines, this is available to you. So consider that, because the, I've already tried this. I've used this before. I don't know why I kept it in the box. Does anyone else do that? Like when you buy something new, you like put it back in the box because it feels new every time you take it out? I don't know. But this is called the Fluff Matte lipstick, and the formula of this is so fantastic. Fluff Matte is the perfect name for this product because it feels fluffy and it's also matte. Like it feels so good on the lips and it stays literally the entire day. I'm not even joking. But this is in the color Girl Crush, and this is how it looks like on my brown skin. Gosh, it's so pretty. It's kind of like a nude on me, but with more vibrance. You know what I mean? Like it looks like it can be a nude, but you know, boom, she's there. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it, she's shining through, she's there, she's letting you know she is here. I've been talking so much that my hair is almost dry from my shower. That is crazy. But yeah, that is my life